All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:32. Look at the disclosure. We're going to get to it. All right. Good morning, guys. Here we go. Here we go. It is Wednesday, 6:32, October 23rd. Hump day. Hopefully everyone's feeling well. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's 6:30 Club. So, the past few days, we've had these down openings, and the S&P has been able to hold the 8-day moving average. We've been able to cover some hedges. We've been able to add to some stocks. I've been trying to take some positions off just because I feel like we're heading into a little bit of a volatile time. It's like 13 days to the election, and a lot of things could happen. But either which way, a lot of things are kind of hanging in, and giving you ways to navigate your portfolio approach, because we've been in a portfolio approach and it's been very profitable since September 11th. That reversal. Where was that reversal? So if you go here, I talk about this sequences, right? Well, if you look at the SPYs real quickly here, this is when this active sequence, in my opinion, started, and it's been very healthy. September 11th all the way to what? October 22nd. So for 6 weeks, we've been able to, rotate through positions, actually buy some dips, play some breakouts. Not that many 52-week high trades, but ultimately, we'll see what happens here. 580.38 is really, really important. Are we going to hold this and stay here, or are they going to shake the tree a little bit? Kind of hard to tell, but ultimately not so bad. If you look at the Qs have actually started to rebuild really well. The Qs right now, it feels like the Qs are ready to go. But again, I don't know if you guys heard Paul Tudor Jones. He was talking about inflation, how we're going to have inflation again, and that tech, tends to be an anti-inflation besides gold, silver, and all those things. But anyway, so with that being said, what happens here, we shall see. Let's go back to this. Let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Let's see who we got here. We got Southern boys in the house. Let's go. Elon. We got Dubai. We got Texas in the house. Wolf. Yes, we got a lot of, crypto's down a little bit this morning. I'm kind of hoping today is one of those days where, after a decent close, that all of a sudden crypto kind of runs people over, because crypto loves to run people over and stop you out and then go. So let's hope that maybe there's a good level to buy, because this crypto trade's been great, and I'll get to that in a second. So this is where, if you look on the side, these are all, I think if you go to YouTube, T3Live.com, I think I have a channel there. I don't even know. But I think so. So that's how you could talk to me. Gold's been a monster. Silver's been a monster. Bitcoin's been okay. Been a lot of things to do. So that's why I talk about in a lot of my things. I'm like, if there's a lot going on in the market, that if you get up and you prepare and you figure things out, you can make good money. The only way you're going to do it, though, is if you get up and you prepare, not if you think someone's going to force feed you. Anyway, with that being said, this looks pretty good too. Bottom line is the small caps and the bios and all those interest rate sensitive sectors that everybody keeps advocating for. Every time they look like they're going to get going, they've just been a pain in the what. So anyway, let's go real quickly just to Bitcoin, because I feel like a lot of people are trading it in my community. So I want to get there for you. Right now it is what is it? Where is my Bitcoin? Here it is. Someone's like, Bitcoin's breaking down, Red Dog. You can't say Bitcoin's breaking down. Come on. It's just, taking a break. Okay. It's not going really, really fast, but ultimately it's been a great trade. So here's Bitcoin. It hit 69.4, which was a little bit below this range. Okay, came from 52 and 57 and 60. So this isn't the end of the world. Okay, you could even see the 8-day and still be just fine. It's just taking its time. It's been taking its time for 8 months. You look at the weekly chart and it's like, okay, it's been just hanging here. So if you look here at the weekly chart, all it's doing is testing this area. You wouldn't really want to see it give back much more than this, because then it becomes more of a chop fest. But ultimately, it's been doing really well. And my guys, That's why it's good to be ahead of the curve a little bit, because you guys, the dog pound, uh, have been been in a lot of these things. Starting from here. This is when I started to be in the IBIT. That's when I bought Mara calls. I was in core as well before that. We were talking about Bill Wolf well before the filing came out with Druckenmiller. And anyway, so I would say even if it came to here, it's not the biggest deal. But I really wouldn't want to see it go much below here. Then all of a sudden, some of the momentum leaves. To me, look at this course. This has been absolutely fantastic. We've been in this pretty much. Remember the open house that I had for the Alpha team? That's when we started buying this around 1040, and it still looks good. Look at that nice candle. You could have bought a dip here, and then boom. I still think this looks really good. The wolf, everyone's like, well, the wolf's down a little bit today. Okay, well, good, buy more. Look at this move. I was buying first. I started buying it here. And then I had to suffer, and then look at that move. So this has been awesome. Okay, you go to the weekly chart and you can see what's really exciting here. If Bitcoin gets going, you're going to see $9 probably in the wolf. Mara, is definitely not an easy thing to trade. You have to just buy on down days. I've been rolling Mara up. Mara itself looks pretty good here. I started buying it here. Okay, I started buying, the 1850s or whatever it was, and then into this move, I sold some and then I rolled it up, and it still looks good. It just needs Bitcoin to kind of, get in the mix. And then anyway, so we'll see what happens here. Obviously, Mister is the biggest name out there, and this is looking really good. I remember we were buying Mister. I was buying the 210s here for like $9, and then I sold them all the way up to 20. And then now here I'm rolling into the 240s a few weeks out, because if Bitcoin goes, that's going to go. So that's what I'm doing. So that's it for crypto. I'm not a crypto guy, but crypto's in play, so Red Dog does it. A lot of people talking about the election and the Trump trade. I have not been playing DJT, but what a move. This is when I listed it above 20, and it's, really doing, it's working its way well. A lot of the betting sites all have Trump winning. I'm not talking politics. I'm just telling you what's happening. So the bottom line is, DJT is going well. Yesterday I posted Rumble. This Rumble, okay, hasn't done anything. I remember playing Rumble. Remember when I was fighting with, Portnoy, months ago, because I was calling him out because he's such a big advocate for gambling and gambling and gambling. And kids these days are just gambling. They start playing fantasy football when they're in freaking kindergarten now. And then by the time they're in middle school, they're already using their parents' friggin' betting sites. And by the time they're in high school, bookies are friggin' picking on them, giving them big friggin' windows to bet. And then all of a sudden they're showing up at their parents' house and telling them to pay up, and kids are committing suicide, and gambling is a big epidemic. But that's the reason why I really had a problem, besides him, treating the market like a casino. But anyway, that was back here, and that happened. I haven't really looked at it since. And then some people like, hey, Red Dog, look at Rumble. Rumble, it's a pretty, kind of right website or speaking platform. A lot of people there, and it's been doing a whole lot of nothing. Somebody, if you want to send me the note, said that there was a filing that Vance accumulated this. Don't quote me. I'm just telling you what people sent to me, Vance. But anyway, I am in it. I bought some yesterday, and we'll see what happens here. It's done a whole lot of nothing, but this is a low quality, just kind of like a meme thing. But anyway, with that being said, let's go to tech, because tech to me is acting better. Amazon, has a nice wedge. The last few days, you've had to really have a bit of a stomach and buy the dip. So hopefully today, what's Amazon doing? Amazon is it's down $1. It's been down $2 the past few days. So let's hope that Amazon holds in here, and it can be viable to move up a bunch. Kind of getting annoying, the opening down every day. What's the SPYs doing today? The SPYs are down $1.32. So SPYs, it's not the end of the world. We've been holding the 581 area. I like actually little down opens, because you could see where the relative strength is. You could see what you could buy versus a level to go green. But when you have a lot of positions in your P&L, it's like, it's not fun in the morning. But anyway, SPYs are down $1.32. So Amazon will be something I think you could look at. Holding 185 keeps me in it. Anyway, what's it called? Look at Netflix, by the way. Netflix shows you that after even 4 or 5 down days, you have a big gap up after earnings. You could buy versus gap pivot, and now it's kind of flagging. So, so if I were to write a storybook, a storybook of what could happen here. So it's Wednesday, October 23rd. Next week, you have a lot of the big earnings. If if they want to do one more move with like an Apple and an Amazon and Microsoft and a Google, maybe it's next week into new highs. And into that move, you sell into it, maybe buy some SPY puts for November 15th. And then if we get to 5,900 in the S&P, you could sell some strength. Don't sell premium. Don't get short, because what happens if all of a sudden you're wrong. But I think you buy some protection for the week of November 15th, and maybe you thread the needle. And then if we do get some volatility, you're not going to get hurt. And then perhaps we find the post area, and then we go for the rest of the year. But that's just me talking. But anyway, Netflix is kind of hanging in there. So again, Amazon, I think perhaps you could buy this dip. Okay. Google, I said yesterday I bought some, and I did. It's off a little bit this morning. I would think as long as it holds, what's this low, 162, I'll stay with it. It'd be nice if this kind of inverted head and shoulders pattern with the wedge could get going. What's Google doing this morning? Google is probably down about $1 or something. It's down 69 cents. So it'd be nice if both of these things can go red to green for cash flow. Apple's been a kind of a pain, but it's hanging around. So you want to look at Apple. Looks like it's down $1.40. I sold my Apple yesterday just because I'm kind of sick of it. I thought that I had a better, tighter setup here. It's down $1.40. I'll look at it though. Kind of hung in there. Still looks just fine. Apple looks just fine. A lot of tech looks just fine. So John Boston says that he bought a Google one. You bought a put spread. All right. Anyway, so with that being said, this is what Apple looks like. Apple looks pretty good, but again, it's down. Maybe you could buy versus a level. Meta finally woke up a little bit yesterday. I've been accumulating Meta, options for earnings, and then yesterday was the first day that I bought Meta to go red to green, and I still have Meta also. What's Meta doing? Meta's probably down also. So Red Dog, Meta's up a little bit. That's not bad. Anyway, so this is, not so bad. I'm going to probably buy more Amazon. I'll probably buy a tiny bit more Google. Meta, I'm probably just going to hopefully, that this will help. And we'll see. There's definitely some other action that's a little tricky this morning. You have Starbucks down. You have, McDonald's with the coli. I will say this kind of sucks. I feel bad for people with Qualcomm, because Qualcomm kind of looked good yesterday. I didn't buy it, but everyone's like, look at this day one in Qualcomm. It looked like it was kind of ready to get better. Then all of a sudden there's news with Qualcomm. Something happened with ARM, and now it's down 8. That's something you can't help that. If you bought Qualcomm because you thought it had a nice day one, and it's been coming out with news about the Snapdragon and this and that, it is what it is. And so just, I would say let it put a 15-minute low in and then see what happens. I'm not in Qualcomm. I'm just saying I saw the news this morning. I'm just telling you as a trader, it's tough. It's tough. Meta has a nice cup and handle. Yeah. I think Meta. So what did I buy from Meta? I bought the 620 calls. Okay. And I cost averaged them into here. I trimmed a little bit just to trim a little bit, but I'm in the stock, and I'm hoping it could have some kind of Netflix type move where, it came in, it was a leader stock, and then gives you a post, but we'll see. I see, I feel like the Meta glasses are going to be a huge hit over the holidays. I have a pair. They're pretty damn cool. The Oculus has that deal with the NBA where you could be on Oculus and watch from I don't know, whatever. So just a thought. I'm just giving you guys the thought. Yeah, ARM is canceling a license that allowed Qualcomm. Yeah, so again, you can't, that happens. So some people what about Tesla after the close? I don't know, guys. Tesla's been a laggard. Elon has definitely made his bed as far as the election. I'm not going to get into that. The stock is pricing in pretty much nothing right now. I think people are very down on EV. They think the market slowed down a little bit. I do see a lot of Cybertrucks everywhere, which is kind of interesting. Maybe he'll talk about that. Maybe he'll go over the robo-taxi thing again. I don't know. All I know is, you have this level here. You go to the weekly chart, it's nowhere. Again, this is not, at a high. It's not like Nvidia. It's not like where Apple's at a high. It's not, it's been lagging. Okay, so the question is, will it wake up? I don't know. It's a broken name. So unless you're investing and you have a really thesis that Tesla is the AI of the future, and you put it in your kid's account that's 10 and you don't get paid for a living, I think you have to like be very careful here. I do have some options on. So, but again, for me, I put options on. They're more like lotto calls. Which ones did I buy? My thought was with Tesla, I bought the 240s, which would mean it would get to here. But I did it for the after the election. So if it's down on earnings, which it might be tomorrow, I could buy a little bit more, and then maybe if Trump wins and everyone loves Elon because he helped get him there, then maybe it has a post-election rally. Or the earnings are better than feared, and it friggin' has a gap up, and then all of a sudden I'm ahead of the game, and then I maybe create a call spread for post-election. That's my thoughts there. I don't like AMD these days, and CELH is a pain in the butt. I have options there. And what else is going on here? What else? As far as like the nuclear sector, we did really, really well. This name has been absolutely fantastic. For those of you in the 630 Club, congratulations. I was buying it here, and I talked about it a few times before that. Now we'll see how it sets up again, and I think it's going to continue. This SMR, not the worst thing. NNE had a deal. They raised money. They haven't yet. I think if you go out like a month and buy the $20 calls, chances are you can make a lot of money here, but we'll see. Microsoft woke up yesterday, so we'll see what's Microsoft doing this morning. Is it up or down? Is it giving a follow through, or is it up $1? That's not so bad. All you can ask for is things to play by the rules, and this had a nice move yesterday and giving you a little, it's not as over 430, but Microsoft woke up. So if you bought Microsoft yesterday, I would say, hey, as long as it holds 424 and shows commitment, that looks pretty good. So yeah, I hear you. You think Tesla's going to move $50 in the next 2-3 weeks? It could. Anyway, we'll see. But that's Microsoft. So if you look at FNGU, no, this is the ETF for FANG, for the Mag 7, and it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. So if you don't know which one you want to go with, and you think that interest rates are going to stay up and money's going to go to tech, and you don't know which one, and maybe just buy this. Maybe there are some options on this. If you go to TrendSpider, which is a good friend of mine, TrendSpider, by the way, is what I use. I'm going to be doing a bunch of different webinars with them over the next month. He posts great charts. Like, you should go look at his charts. Like here, if you go to Redler Premium, I posted like look at this setup here. By the way, this is, where is it? Like look at this. Like, it's like this. I posted also. Look at all this. Looks pretty good. Apple looks ready to break out. Microsoft has a wedge. Nvidia is above the area. Amazon's tight. Google inverted head and shoulders with the wedge. Here, a falling, descending channel. Looks like it's coming up. TrendSpider, to me, is a great charting platform, and hopefully I'm going to help give them some idea generation. So, I'm giving you not a shameless plug, just a plug. Oh, there we go. Anyway, I just lost my charts. This is my beautiful background, by the way, for those of you who, who want to have some zen. Isn't that cool? I look at this and I'm like, you know what? When you see this, what do you see? Everyone sees something different. Someone's like, oh, I'd love to go fly fishing. Or someone's like, I'd like to sit and, do gratitude. For me, I would friggin' love to just run up these mountains, run up with my dog Cadence. Hopefully my dog Cadence is okay. She had her third seizure. But anyway, it's 6:50. I got to get going. We'll see what happens again with the SPYs, just real quickly, because I don't mind charting up. The SPYs are down again this morning, down $1.43. They've done a good job, absorbing the move in the morning for the 8-day. We'll see what can go from red to green, and we'll see what's next here. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And by the way, I'm on my third day. No beer, no wine, no bread, no French fries. Cleaning down the system. The way you score points with yourself is if you make a promise or you put a goal out and you stick to it. That's how you build self-esteem and confidence and inner strength. So set some goals for yourself and keep them. You can't keep pledges to yourself. You're not going to keep them to anybody else. So make sure you do little things to keep your mental strength. All right, guys, good luck today.